ladies, don't come at me. But I don't know, some bitches back in the day wanted to vote, and this is where we lost it. We lost it. We decided we wanted all this independence for what? We became the men. We became the men. This is bullshit. Who decided this? Because I don't want to be the man. I don't want to be the man no more. This is crap. Who wants independence? I don't want it. I don't want it. Take it. Take it back. Take it back.
Tell us.
Derek, what do you want to be?
I want to be a plus one so we can vacation day. What's up?
So today has been my morning off. I know you can't tell because I'm here and I'm working. Now, this is just not sitting well in my soul. I need somebody to take me on vacation, fund me my vacation, send me on vacation, something with a vacation, because this ain't fair. This not sitting well in my soul. Ain't nobody supposed to work this hard and still be here all the time. Days off here, mornings.
And honestly, you're standing around doing too much talking. Doing too much talking. Go ahead and put that apron on and get back to work. This is what men have been trying to tell y'all for decades now, for centuries now. But y'all wanted it your way. Happy wife, happy life. Happy woman. I don't know. I have no idea. But that doesn't even apply because she's not happy.
Shorty does the math in her head and it leads her to the truth.
Okay, realistically, if I want kids by about 28, but I want to be married for probably 2 years before having kids, I need to have a husband and be married by 26. And then I'm going to be engaged for probably about a year, to plan the wedding and do all that stuff. So I need to be a fiance. I need to be engaged by 25. But then, usually before you get engaged, you're probably dating the person for about 2 years. I feel like that's a good amount of dating someone. That means that I'm going to have to basically meet this person by 23? 22? Oof.
I mean, things move differently, so maybe not 23. Could be 23. Could be 24. Could be 25. The point is, I mean, y'all might not meet each other until, 27. But a lot of modern women out here, they're not marriage minded. You know what I mean? So even if you meet at 23, it has a chance to go awry. Partly because they say you're young, but I feel like people use that as too much of an excuse for somebody who's not willing to go in the same direction. I mean, you can get married at any age, really, honestly and truly. You can be old and get married and y'all still end up divorced. Why? Because values were not aligned. And so, I mean, you're out here thinking that, just because I'm older and I know this, and this about this person, then it's all going to work out. And it doesn't, because you're not in the same mindset. So regardless of, obviously you don't want to really wait too long, but yeah, a lot of modern women are not in the headspace to be married.
Wait a second. I'm very much single. So how is this gonna work? Because my plans are getting a little, I actually have to meet someone tomorrow to have this be my life. What the fuck?
Not everything usually goes as planned, but for this shorty, she's doing the math in her head and realizing, all right, I want this by 28. That's what she wants, without even realizing, oh shit, her clock's already ticking now. This is why it's better to not go through a hot girl summer for many summers till you're after 30, because you will miss out on shit like this, and after 30, it is all downhill from there, especially statistically. Where this one is figuring out, oh shit, if I want to be married with kids by 28, I gotta do this shit now. And she does a little timeline in her head, because that would only happen if the next person she met is the one. And in most cases, it's just not like that. So the advice that people get nowadays is, yo, use your 20s to party and do what the hell you want. You could always get married later. Well, nah, when you're a woman, that's not how that works. You should find your partner early, settle down and get into family mode, because after 30, and you can ask a lot of people around, after 30, dating is shit, especially if you're a woman, because men don't mature till their 30s and sometimes even their 40s. That's when they're able to do the things that they want to do when it comes to a family, especially in this market, this day and age. Shit. So women, you know, their value is early. It just is. They're pure, they're dope, you know what I'm saying? They're always beautiful. Where men, you gotta work, you gotta build. So to have what she's looking for, she needs to start now before it's too late. And then she ends up with no kids in her 30s and dating is shit.
Well, think about this. Think about it like this. Let's say she goes, well, let's say you get out of school, you get out of high school and you want to go buck wild. All right. Because I know a lot of times we like to use the clean example of, while she's out there partying and being Eiffel Towered, then he's in the gym or he's in some sort of discipline. Let's say he's out there doing the Eiffel Towering. Maybe, yeah, you and him didn't had a couple, you know, run-ins to where it's been both of y'all, right? Let's say that. At some point in time, you have to know when your luck is about to run out. Modern women don't have that gauge. They don't have that barometer. They just keep on doing what they're doing over and over again until they finally come to the meeting place where they're like, oh, shoot, I want to get married. But they still don't know that they've passed their limit. You know what I mean? Like I said, say, for instance, you get in college and he get in college. Y'all do 1 to 2 years of going buck wild. In that third year, he cut that out. He said, man, I need to come to my senses. Right? And he starts, you know, executing, being disciplined. So years 3 and 4, he gets out and he's doing great. Right? He gets a nice job where he's, you know, making a pretty good salary, especially for entry level. He's got his own place. He's, you know, he goes out every so often with the fellas, or he might go out on the weekend, but it's nothing too crazy because once again, Saturday, I'm going to the gym in the morning, maybe for like an hour or so. And then I might come back home, getting back in the bed or, you know, whatever it is, I'm just chilling, but I'm still disciplined. There's still some sort of discipline there, right? While she's still, even after college, partying and racking up bodies. Well, I mean, that guy that you came in with that was on your type of time, that maybe you might come up to us, oh, hey, I ran into Jeremy and, you know, we had a drink and we're catching up. Yeah, man, you know, I always thought you were beautiful. Yeah, same. Right? Now, when y'all are talking and discussing and he says, so what have you been up to? You're going to give him the highlights. But because he's been disciplined, he's going to be able to look at you and he's going to be able to hear you and he's going to be able to know, oh, she has not been as disciplined as she says she has. Yeah, she's done this, and this, but she's been out there doing X, Y, and Z too. I know this because of the way my lifestyle is, and then also because of what I've seen, what I've heard. She forgot we live in the same town, right? Or we live in the same area. We know some of the same people. So even though I might not go to the same places I used to, I might have a buddy that's still crazy and in that life. And he said, oh man, I met this girl. She was hot. She was smoking this. And I might not be saying anything, but I'm working on my laptop or I'm watching TV or I'm getting a drink with him and he's describing her. And the woman he's describing is you. And I'm like, is she still doing that 3 years later? She hasn't grown up. She hasn't moved into the next phase of her life. And now you're in front of my face trying to tell me all of the things that you are and aren't doing. And I already know that's a lie. Well, 70 to 80% of it. And so when I decide, hey, she's a nice person, but she's not for me, that's when you get offended because I won't pick you. But you're so short. Your mind is so short term. You don't think on a long-term level that you just kept on partying. Oh man, I'll get to it when I get to it. You procrastinated instead of locking in, thinking about your future and saying, man, I want to do this, I want to do that, and let me stop. I had a little fun. Let me stop while I'm ahead, right? You kept going. And now the man that would have been a good match for you, he don't want you no more. That man fool around, go on another date with another woman. They hit it off. He's married within maybe a year or two, maybe 3 years, right? Looking to start a family within that time. And you out here mad, can't find a man. You started too late.
If you want some money, you gotta give him some problems to solve. If you don't have any problems, you need to start making stuff up. Tell him your friend's getting married, you need money for a wedding dress, invite him to the wedding. As a matter of fact, future
Already starting off with stupidity, but keep going.
fake. Talk about how excited you are. And then after you get the money and do whatever you want with it or put it up, I don't know, tell him a couple of months later the wedding's been called off because she caught him cheating. No old reliable.
Do you know what's so crazy? Women will say that men will manipulate them into having sex, and men will manipulate them into doing a lot of things, all while being a manipulator themselves.
Yep.
Well, it looks like you guys project a lot, and it looks like this might be your true character. How about we get a fucking job? How about we go and work? Ponte a trabajar, pendeja.
And this is what we keep on asking them. What do you bring to the table? What are you going to do for the relationship besides try to beg, manipulate, and be a gold digger?
To ask somebody for money all while lying is stupid. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I see nothing wrong with asking your man for money. But here's my thing. If you can ask him for money, he better be able to ask you for shit too. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go out of my way to ask my man for money. And then not even that, ask him for money and then lie about what I'm gonna do with it. Why? What's the point? Building a foundation off of lies? Or if you're just using a guy in general, over time, a man's going to know that you're lying to him because your lies are never going to add up. And then one day you're going to forget those lies. I don't know what it is, but I do not like fake ass people. And that goes for men and women. Like somebody who's not stand up and just carries himself and moves funny. Like you guys make me sick to my fucking stomach. And I can see why a lot of women feel like every man's a manipulator. Every man's out to get them. Every man's out to hurt them. Maybe it's because you're like this as a person.
Damn.
You ever notice, and really think about this, you ever notice people who fucking steal, they're always so paranoid and so worried about everybody else? I can see why women are always on edge thinking guys are just out to get them for every little thing. Maybe you're the reason why you think this way because you're the common denominator. You're a fucking user bitch. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. Who else would have a mindset like this? Get your own money. Women will call men broke all while not even having 2 fucking quarters to rub together. You're putting on makeup and getting ready and you probably have a wig on, but yet you don't have your own money.
Dang.
I'm going to tell you this right now. If you have to manipulate somebody to do something, you don't got the sauce. You ain't got it like you think you do. You ain't fine and you ain't hot shit like you think you do. Because if you were a stand-up woman, beautiful, gorgeous, whatever, you could just ask your man, hey, baby, can I get some money? Or even a guy you were just talking to, hey, babe, can I get some money? And he'd give it to you.
And would do it gladly. And would do it gladly. Because they would feel like, oh, I'm getting something from her. Or I feel like, you know, I'm paying for, and this is what a lot of modern women talk about. That's why they say, well, you get access to me. And a man is like, well, it's not really special about you that I'm getting access to. Like, you're not really that important. You know, there's nothing that you really have going on that would make me be like, oh yeah, this is something that I love. It's nothing like that. So I'm not paying for that. And they get mad and call men broke. But you're not like a woman like this, to where she's actually adding value to the man's life, to where the man would be willing to give you something. Anyways, y'all know y'all ain't nothing.
Why lie and manipulate? Like I said, there's nothing wrong with asking somebody for money if that's the person you're with or that's somebody you're trying to deal with. I would never, though. I don't know what it is. I have a hard time asking for help, let alone money. Oh my gosh. I don't know what it is. I couldn't ask for money. But yeah, anyway, I want to know what you guys think about this, but I really am starting to get sick of a lot of these user type of women. There's great women in this world, but women like these are ruining it and wondering why men don't trust a lot of y'all. Example A.
If a girl asks me how many sets I have left, not a problem. If you're a man and you ask me how many sets I have left, it's just different. Like, I automatically think you're my op. Get away from me. Why are you speaking to me? Goodbye, sir.
So you don't understand why, with this line of thinking, a man would not want to be around you? You don't understand that? You're going to ask a man for help, but then you're going to say something stupid like this on the internet, and you wonder why men don't want to be around you? Okay.
If a woman asks me how many sets I have left, not a problem. But if a man asks me, get away from me, why are you talking to me? Imagine posting this nonsense to social media thinking it's a good idea, that you're going to get all this support and love, especially from women, because bashing men on social media for absolutely no reason is trendy and cool and a good way to get likes and attention. But of course, that doesn't happen. Why? Because that's not what the gym community is all about. The gym is a shared space, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with politely asking someone between sets how many sets they have left, whether they're a man or a woman. So keep your gender-based rage bait out of the gym. And if you can't, then stay home or join an all-women's gym. Train there. But until then, you need to do better. Mind your own business.
Listen, I don't know why this don't make sense to a lot of you guys, but let me explain something for me. And I can only speak for me as an individual woman. I'm a mom of 3 toddlers. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so where are we going here? Well, what are we doing? Are you about to beg?
I also have a 17-year-old that's in college. I don't got time
Already,
to
you know.
talk to y'all. I understand, like, traditionally, y'all think every woman just wants to get married or wants to get fucked on or whatever the case may be, but I want to get rich. I am not rich at this moment.
Right.
I am progressing to be rich. If you want my attention or access to me, you have to lighten the load that I am responsible for.
Is she serious? Is she serious? Girl, shut up. You have 3 kids back there. 4 in total. Not lightening anything for you.
I'm responsible for 4 humans, not including myself. So if you're not ready for that type of commitment or responsibility, please just don't waste my time.
Okay, bitch. I'm out.
I mean, you shouldn't have any time. I don't even know how you have time to record this TikTok. You should be, again, taking care of your kids. But of course, all of them are back there on iPads. I don't know where you got the money for those, but y'all seem to have the money to get these kids out of your face. But you want to have all the time in the world to be in a man's face asking for money, which I guess it makes sense because y'all are bums and losers. So that's your hustle. And that's what you have to do in order to keep yourself afloat because you don't really have any talent.
Men, it's time to tell me in the comments again if I'm wrong. I really need you to tell me because I don't know if I'm wrong.
Go ahead.
Once a man truly loves a woman, he never really unloves her, especially if that woman is the mother of your children. If I'm being honest, I think the answer is yes. There's always love, but it's changed, it's different. I may be surprised, but if the answer is what I think it is, a lot of women are going to be very upset. In my experience, I've never seen a man who truly loved a woman and didn't still care about her no matter what. I'm not going to say that that's right or wrong, but I will say that both my husband and I still care deeply about the people who are a part of our lives before we got together. To me, this is totally normal, but it's the opposite of what I see online. And the truth is, there's no wrong answer in my mind. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the man's not hurt or angry or doesn't want to talk to them, but I'm wondering if there's still something there beneath all of that. Look, there's a lot I could say on this topic, but I just want to learn. I believe men are the true romantics. I believe that men in general love unconditionally. I believe that when good men commit themselves to a relationship, it's very difficult for them to uncommit. Men, can you cut the bullshit with me for a minute? Because I just want to know. If I hooked you up to a lie detector test and asked you if you still loved the women that you were once with?
Well, you have to realize that, these men are committing. Well, you're committing to this person. So you're, like you said, you're throwing your all into it, like you're giving your all, right? And you would hope that because it's an investment. You would hope that the investment would go through, like you would get something from it. But, you know, after a while, it's kind of like sunken cost. And you're like, oh man, that had so much potential and it just didn't go. You know, I have to move forward. I wish it would have, but it didn't. It didn't. And I'm good with that. I'm not trying to go back to it. I don't need me. I don't need it. It doesn't need me. And I'm not trying to go back to it. Right. So you kind of move on, find something that serves you more, and be going about your life. And that's it. You prosper. Right. But you know, I'm not looking for any of my exes. I'm not looking for any of them. I don't want them calling me. And I hope they have a good life. Yeah. Because I focused on myself. I focused on healing myself, on trying to grow and do better for myself. And, you know, hope they do the same. But they're not going to catch me. I'm too far ahead.
Would it be a yes or a no?
I ended up leaving my fiance
How come?
for, I don't know, that's the thing.
Did you meet somebody new?
I did. It was somebody that lived in
Well,
the
then
area,
that's it.
and I got curious about who this person was, and I took it too far and I acted on it, and then, ended up leaving my fiance and regretted it almost immediately. I actually just left that other relationship that I was in, and I think I want to repair things with my ex-fiance, and I think he does too.
No.
But I don't know where to start.
I'm
Leave 'em
wondering if
alone.
you're not
That's where to
just
start.
in a cloud of guilt and loneliness.
That's the thing. I don't know. I mean,
Then I would pause on trying to run back and fix this thing. I'm afraid it's going to happen again.
I know that's my worry too, and I don't want it to happen again. And that's why, I'm taking the steps to try and figure out why I did what I did. And I just started therapy last week.
I know, but the bigger thing is you making an ironclad commitment. I'm never going to do that again. He can't anchor in and trust you again until you trust you, and you don't trust you right now. I mean, here's the thing. To answer your question, the path back in something like this is you ask him, I would like a roadmap to rebuild trust with you because I blew your life up.
Yeah. And I really don't, actually, I'm thinking about a man recently. I think Juice Zed was kind of reacting to it. Is a guy that was in his car, and he was talking about his wife actually messed around on him, and he still tried to fix it. And even in his mind, everything was all jumbled up, and he was trying to do the right thing, but he couldn't figure out how to do it. It was just too much. It was a lot, right? And he just ended up obviously leaving, not being able to do it because it was too much. It was too overwhelming. I think for her, and this is what happens with a lot of modern women, especially even though they try to say, I got divorced and I'm happier than ever. Yeah, okay. I mean, if that's what you want to say, but I know there's a lot of women out there that sit up here and they talk about, I was happy, and then after the honeymoon, after that whole phase happens, all of a sudden, oh man, I do miss this, and oh man, I really do want that, because you start to understand the benefits that you actually did have, which a lot of modern women don't understand. They don't understand exactly what they have until it's gone. They don't understand that the grass isn't always greener. A lot of times it's not. That man is only giving you the 10% that you think that you're missing, and you're leaving the 90% to get the 10. And when you get the 10, it's fun. It makes you feel alive, but then you don't have any stability. You just had fun, right? It's just like you went to an amusement park, a theme park. Oh man, that was fun. I want to go again. So you scrounge up enough money and you go again, and you go all summer. Man, I got a season pass. I'm going all summer. But you do know that summer ends. You didn't have you a hot girl summer, and now it's over. Guess what? Summer, winter, spring, fall. Now you're going through the different seasons, right? Obviously you go summer, and then you go into the fall, and then you go into winter, and then the spring, right? But now you're going back into that season where it's getting a little colder. It's not as hot as it was. And you can't go outside. Now you have to have some sort of stability, and you don't have that. When everything was nice and it was peachy and you can go outside and run into the field, you had that. And I'm going to do that. But now the winter time is here and you should have stocked up. You didn't do that. You had a man that was stable that did all of that for you. And you left him because you wanted to run out into the fields. Right? And so now the parts of life that you should be enjoying, right, when the winter is over, we're healthy, we can come back out and we can say, okay, man, that's the thing, isn't it? Modern women only live for the summer. When fall comes, it's a nice, slow pace. It's a nice, summer's about being outside and having fun and just feeling the sun on your skin and getting some fresh air. But when the fall comes, you're still outside, but it's a more toned down sort of relaxing vibe. And then winter comes, you kind of cozy up to one another and you enjoy that time. And then when the spring comes, you're slowly starting to get outside. You're starting to clean things, repair things, maintenance, the whole spring cleaning thing. Modern women get stuck on the good times. Man, let's just be outside. The adrenaline rush. I want to be swimming, man. I want to be out there drinking, partying, taking vacations and all that stuff. All of the dopamine. But then when it's time to settle down, when it's time to kind of grow close to somebody, kind of commit to somebody, right? You go from fall to winter, those seasons where, like I said, you have the slower pace. They're so hyped up on adrenaline from summer, they can't come back down to the fall. And then you go into the winter, it's too cold. I can't get up in somebody's face. I can't commit to them. I can't be close and intimate with somebody. That's just not me. I can't go to that season. And then of course you have the spring where things are getting better. But there's some things that you have to clear out, spring cleaning. There's some problems that you have to work through right before the summer so you can have that fun. Y'all say, I don't want those other seasons. I don't want to do that. I just want to have a little fun. And now you are in the position that you're in because you couldn't get it right. That's what happened. I just want to be out here in the summer. And you forgot all the other seasons. And now you're trying to run back to your man to get a little bit of that TLC, tender love and care.
I blew my life up. I blew your life up. I need a roadmap to trust.
No blush for you. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm just irritated. A male thong bitch. The boys are pissing me the fuck off recently. More than usual. Literally more than usual. Are you okay? Here's a list of things that men are doing that are fucking gay, bitch. Literally fucking gay. Now, I have not covered this one because I just feel like this is so obviously gay.
So you're about to be homophobic. But go ahead.
And I tried to do things that are like a little subtle. But a Van Cleef anything on your body as a man, bitch, you're gay. You're literally gay. That's not for you. Van Cleef is gay for the boys. It's literally gay. There are brands that are women only. Yes, they make them for men. It's like a test. Okay? They're testing.
To test for what? If they're making it for men, then how is it a brand only for women? If they say we got men that we want to cater to and the men say, oh yeah, I like that, then how is that gay? You just want something for you. But them boys getting money on both ends. So what are you talking about right now?
Testing you took the bait, you're fucking gay. Since we're on the topic of brands, I want to know what the fuck Kimberly is doing with Skims, a male thong.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
And it's sold out. Who the fuck bought that? Who the fuck bought that? I want to know what man said, let me go to Skims, which is so obviously for the girls. I don't even like that they did a men's line. Rubbed me the wrong fucking way. Because honestly, the girls line has been flopping for like 3 years.
You don't think that gay men bought that? You don't think that maybe gay men bought it? You don't think that's a possibility? Do you think it's a possibility that gay men are buying all of these things? Or some of you modern women are so freaked out. Do you think it's a possibility that y'all are going to these clubs? I'll say it like that. What you're trying to tell me is y'all not going to any of these clubs? What you're trying to tell me is there's no market for male people that take their clothes off for money? There's no market for it? Girl, see, y'all forget that y'all are out here and just as nasty as y'all say the men are. And when a man buys something for y'all's enjoyment, because you know you're going to be looking at it. I don't know why y'all try to do this. Y'all sit up here and try to shame men for the stuff that y'all going to be looking at. Y'all be talking, oh, well, OF, and you men are looking at OF. Acting like y'all don't be looking at it too. Acting like y'all don't be reading books too. Acting like y'all don't be going to these types of clubs too. Oh, I was just in there because, shut up. You was in there because you wanted to be, not because your friends went. Stop that. Come on now.
I don't want brand inclusivity. No, I don't, bitch. Certain brands, like I said, for the girls. And honestly, it upsets me because I was a Skims stan. Yes, I was. But now
you still
I'm just
gonna be
irritated. A male thong bitch. If I was ever in any area or room with a man and he decided, let me take off my jeans, and was wearing a fucking thong, bully that man so hard I would throw his jeans out of the window.
Girl, you're not going to do nothing. Shut up.
And tell him to get in the street with another fucking man. It's fucking gay. It's so fucking gay. Oh my God, I'm gonna give myself a fucking aneurysm. Finally, I want to know why a woman sent me a video of a makeup artist saying it's his day too. I'm sorry, the groom is not wearing makeup. No, the fuck he is not. He is the groom. He is a man. He is marrying a woman. Why are you, as a man, curling your fucking hair? Why the fuck are you putting concealer on? No blush for you. Oh my God. Oh my God. You bitches are marrying these men? You are marrying these men. Moment of fucking silence.
I mean, listen, I understand where you're coming from, but you're not married. You don't know how to get a man. I see what you're saying. I really do. But you don't have a man. You're a loser. All of your takes, well, most of them, because there's some validity in here, they're garbage. 80 to 90% of your takes are garbage. Everything is about how a man's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing as a woman? Probably not. If you were, you'd probably have men that were of your caliber. Yeah. That want your attention. That would take you out. But y'all are not as cute as you think you are. That's why you're still single. You're still in loser land.
Shit is really fucked up out here.
Do you think men use game because it works or because being real doesn't?
Men use game because they're insecure about what they have to offer.
If a man acts confident and charming just to get sex, is that lying or just playing the game?
It's just because they're a male with needs and they try and fulfill that.
If a man acts confident and charming just to get sex, is that lying or just playing the game?
I think he's just playing the game because he knows it.
I take pulling out as like a personal offense because like, what, you think I'm not good enough for your load? I worked really hard for that.
What?
That's mine. Okay? This has nothing to do with having kids, okay?
If you act like a hoe, people will treat you like a hoe. If you dress like a hoe, people will treat you like a hoe. If you're out here in these streets sleeping with everybody, you will be in a cycle where you are used and abused. And rarely do those women get wifed by a high-earning, masculine, high-value man. Men say they want a feminine woman. They want a good woman. A good feminine woman is going to be a mirror for all the ways that that man lacks in his life. A man that is not emotionally mature, intellectually, mentally, spiritually, that is going to be very confronting for him. Some of the best lessons are learned when you lose that thing that you love the most. A man is get the job done, get the job done, get the job done. There's no feel. It's all do. No one is saying, okay, well, how did you feel about that job? I don't know why, especially black women want a finished Prada. We want the man that makes $5 million a year, drives the Rolls Royce Cullinan, that has the multi-million-dollar house, that has. Well, this is the thing. If he's already accumulated all of these things, then why is it?
Why does he need you?
Why does he need you?
The condom broke. I just had a client come in and he's a regular. I have seen him before. He's a lovely gentleman and, we're getting down to business and it just felt different. I don't know how to explain it, just felt different. So I say let's
You don't have to explain.
I'm trying to be subtle about it because more often than not, I'm wrong. And the feeling different is just in my head. But of course we change positions and it, kind of just falls out. It's kind of like dangling off of him. Thankfully, he had not finished, but there is still a risk because, the fluid before the finish can still get you pregnant, can still have infections, bacteria, viruses in there. And of course, if I have anything, he could get it. This client kind of panicked, which is I don't blame him. I didn't panic, but still a shock. I have had this happen once before, but I think the client actually deliberately broke it, and I've had 2 or 3 slip off before. I know the risks of doing this job, but it's still scary. It is still scary. So I just told him, I get tested every 2 weeks at the moment because I've been making a lot of online content and you have to have test results within the last 2 weeks to make that kind of content. So I have that going back a couple months. So I'm fairly confident I don't have anything. But of course you can get false negatives and stuff. And, I just reassured him, go get tested in a few weeks. You can keep in contact. I'm going to go get tested in 2 weeks and, I'm sure it will be fine. Pretty much everything these days is treatable, but if you need to go talk to a doctor or something, here's the nearest clinic. This guy is a pretty low risk guy. He's an older gentleman. He pretty much only sees workers, so he's only having covered intimacy. I don't think that, he injects anything or has, traveled a lot recently, which guidelines say can raise your risk for certain things like HIV. I don't think there's any point of me.
I don't know, man. Her talking like this is just, it's doing something to me, man. I'm just, we don't have to know this. We don't have to know this. Who's wanting to hear this? I guess you're talking to your colleagues, the women that do this type of stuff. Who is in the market to hear this stuff?
Going down to the hospital to get the HIV medication that can prevent it from entering your system. I think they'll just turn me away, but I'm gonna go and see if I can get some plan B. I am on birth control, but wish me luck.
If I do commit to the man that I am talking to, there's some nights that he's not going to get laid. There is some nights that he's not going to have much affection and attention. And I'm not the girl that you're going to come home to dinner maid and everything. I'm the girl that you'll come home to that's working hard or even harder than you are, or that might not even be home because she's doing something. I don't even have time to make you feel special. I don't even have time to remind you that I care about you or have sex with you every night. I don't even care to have sex with you before we go to bed. I want to be up all night until I literally can't even keep my eyes open working.
That is the media that women are being fed today. Single women telling other women that it's okay to be emotionally unavailable, disconnected, and to be hardened. So basically just be a wounded man.
And why would a man want to be with that? Why would a man like that? I don't get it. What do y'all thinking a man wants? You guys sound stupid. You guys sound slow. You guys sound like losers, man. Why would a man want that? I'm curious to know. You guys keep on talking as if that's why y'all still single, man. That's why you're still single. You're still, and modern women keep on telling us how they're emotionally mature, and they keep on putting out stupidity like this to let us know, no, I'm still the same old person. The same old person that you left. I still ain't got no sense. I still ain't got it. Who would want that, man? That's weird.
This is modern day feminism. It doesn't empower women, it rejects our nature. Women are not meant to compete with men in relationships. We're meant to balance each other out. Yes, women can work and they can also build businesses. But why is it always this or that? Why can't you have success and softness? And have ambition and connection? Have the purpose and the partnership? The mindset from the video teaches women to withhold love, withhold affection and presence. And then they get shocked when they feel lonely lonely, burned out, and unfulfilled at 50.
And when that man be out there doing his thing, when that man be out there on the hunt, because that's how he got you, then all of a sudden you upset. Oh, how could you ever do this to me? I thought we had something special. We did. Until you decided you was going to tell me, I ain't trying to get that up to you every night. I ain't trying to do that for you. Y'all already going into the relationship, telling men what you not going to do. Y'all think a man is impressed by that? Well, now let me tell when you get with me, here's what you're not going to get. How many companies you know? That's how they sell. That's now hold on. Just a second, sir. Just a second, buddy. You think you're going to get this with me? You're not. You're not going to get any of that. Oh, well, what about this? Nah, you ain't going to get that either. Am I going to get a good looking wife? Nope. Am I going to get a wife that's relatively fit? Nope. What about friendly? Nope. What about feminine? Nope. What about somebody that loves her family? Loves her family? Nope. You are going to get a woman that loves her friends and spends entirely too much time with her friends. You are going to get a delusional woman, a woman that is so far away from reality, it's not even funny. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get a woman that places priority on things that don't even matter. Things that don't even matter now. They've never mattered. They won't matter, obviously, in the future. You're going to get a woman that invests in the things based off of feeling and no logic at all. You're going to get a woman that relies solely on her gut, solely on the quote unquote intuition, the gut feeling. That's 99% wrong. That's what woman you're going to get. I hope you're happy with this. This time, y'all stupid. Y'all, I mean, just go ahead and say you suck. just go ahead and say you suck as a person and let us be done with it.
You cannot outthink your biology. It will catch up to you. Humans thrive on connection, especially women. True wealth isn't just about money. It's also about health, relationships, family, and peace. We do not need more media hardening women. We need better media. Women saying that you can build and love, lead and nurture, and win without abandoning yourself.
Pro marriage tip: make your wife feel like a woman.
What are you doing with the laundry?
So hand her a basket of laundry. And while you're at it, point at the dirty dishes and watch her turn into a huge sea champion.
And so my husband explained to me that when he's the only one initiating sex or any type of intimacy, he feels like I don't desire him because he's doing all the work. He feels like he's not enough, and if I am tired or I have things going on and I reject him and I don't make time for him and I'm not excited that he's initiating it, right? Do you guys remember when you're first dating and you're like butterflies and you're all excited? Well, when that fades and then your husband tries to approach you and you're just like, you're not feeling it, they feel so rejected. He felt like he wasn't enough, like he wasn't attractive, and I just was like, that was never my intention. So when he expressed that to me, I took it really seriously, and I decided like I wanted to create that same feeling when we were first dating, where like I actually was flattered that he would want to come on to me, grateful that he was attracted to me, and I didn't want to be this like boring old soul where I just was like, I'm tired, or I'm this, or I'm, just stuck in routine and like just always having an excuse for something, because intimacy is meant for both people in the relationship. I just think sometimes women get so caught up in their routines that it is really hard and we are really tired and a two-way street. But I think that knowing what he told me, I was able to go, okay, I can make an effort here. So the ways that I did that, I actually shared this on one of my really recent reels, was I turned the house into a playground, in the sense that like I wasn't a stickler of like, routine, and I was just trying to have more fun and being more spontaneous. I stayed open to intimacy on hard days, so days that like we didn't get a lot of sleep and I was tired. It wasn't like, oh, I'm shut down and I'm off limits. It was like, well, I think that intimacy is for both people. It helps with both people. It helps your connection and it strengthens your relationship. So even though I'm tired, I can put makeup on, I can feel cute, and I can make an effort to have fun in that area. And that I think that was so huge, because oftentimes a lot of days are super hard, but we just shut down when things are hard. And then if you always shut down when things are hard, then you're always giving your relationship sloppy seconds.
Millions of people around the globe suffer from not being able to understand the concept of averages.
If you say on average men are stronger than women, they will note that they know a woman that is stronger than a man.
An Asian who's terrible at math.
A black man who can't dance.
A pit bull who's amazing with children.
An Indian man who hates seeing bobs.
A white dad who hates saying let's rock and roll.
A chick who's never emotional.
An influencer who's never posted another day at the office.
An actor with good opinion.
A Jewish woman who's never sent food back.
Even a time when Stephen Colbert was right about something.
Adding up the total of a group and dividing it by the number of people is a concept many were born unable to understand.
And have no choice but to point out the exceptions.
It's a condition that can't be fixed, and all we can do is make them comfortable.
Which is why we started
KUA, a charity for average unabled humans at patreon.com/theboyscast.
When you donate $5 a month, on average, some of it gets to them.
Which means sometimes none of it will, and there's no need to point that out.
So I went to my friend Joe's house the other day.
Okay.
And he tried to give me a barbecue foot massage.
Maybe we don't go back to Joe's house. Unless you like barbecue foot massages. I think she enjoys them. Are you? I'm beginning to think you driving to Joe's house right now.
I will never shame a woman who has decided she don't want no kids. Well, what else are you going to do in life if you don't have children? Here's the thing. Not everybody's meant to be a mama. We see that clear as day every day. The women that I side-eye, though, are the women who bring children into the world and then say, I didn't know it was going to be this hard. Girl, we told you. There are generations that have come before you that have had children that you have watched struggle, that you have watched have a hard time. There are examples all over the world. What do you mean you didn't know? To me, it seems like you don't want to take accountability for making poor choices. Because I also do not understand the women who say, I am not worried about going back to school because I got to take care of these kids. As if you don't understand that getting some type of furthering education or trade or special skill would make you more money, hence making it easier for you to take care of your kids. But then these are the same women that will complain about not making enough money to take care of their kids and how they always got to be at work. Y'all didn't make no kind of plans. And I'm not saying that every situation is perfect. I'm not saying that. Because as somebody who had a baby at 19, I understand that how I thought at 19 is not how I think now, right? But I at least had enough common sense to know that if it is expensive to care for myself, I know it's going to be expensive to care for a baby. So let me go get as much money as I can. And thank goodness I have been self-employed and I had the support to build a business that would allow me to have the freedom of time and make some decent money, right? But for those who just be out here on a whim, having babies, multiple babies at that, and you don't know how you're going to provide for them, how is that not labeled as child abuse? Because when the fathers can't provide, they're deadbeat daddies, and y'all feel like you should be locked under the jail. But when the women keep having the babies, not knowing how they're going to take care of them, make it make sense.